Hello, dear fellow non-UK born members. My name is Sandra Meunier. I'm originally from Belgium and I'm presenting myself to the election of Deaf and Disabled Members Committee for Equity Elections. I would say that it's two minorities that are being disregarded in many ways, so there are many similarities. We do not see enough foreign characters on our screens and stage, and we do not see enough disabled characters on our screen and stages. People will tell you that you do not look foreign enough for a foreign role and end up giving it to a British actor, obviously. And as someone who suffers from invisible disabilities, I'm also told that I do not look disabled enough to be a disabled character. Of course, we do not see many disabled characters on screen and stage, but what we see even less are foreign disabled characters, because apparently they do not exist. And I do not quite understand why we could not have a German wheelchair user, or a Japanese person going to a psychiatrist, or a Brazilian who also happens to be deaf. Those things do happen in real life and we need to be represented. There's also the incredible increase of mental health issues amongst our community, meaning that some of us will suffer from more depression or mental health problems. I do not think that British-born people do understand the extent that Brexit had on us, whether or not we are EU citizens, simply because there's been an increase of xenophobia, of racism, started by that. And I just do not think that British-born people genuinely understand the extent of the damage done, and that's why it's so important we do have non-UK born citizens as part of the committees. I would say that, to be honest, it's very similar in a way. We all need representation, we all need to be represented. I think that we need to have a good mix in every single committee. Do vote for non-UK born people for all committees. Do vote, if possible, for me. Now let me explain a bit about me. So I do have non-visible disabilities, or so they're called, and I sometimes also walk with a stick because I've got a foot problem that sometimes will be there and sometimes will not be there. Therefore, it's really funny because people are willing to accommodate my foot, which I can deal with myself, thank you very much, but they will be really careful about, ooh, do you need the lift, you know, do you need some help, how's your foot? And no one ever asked me the same about unseen disabilities. No one asked me, oh, how's your mental health, how is your autism doing? I was once told that, well, now is not the time to run to the loo and I've got stomach issues, I don't get to choose when it is time or not. But those things are not being properly considered because, I guess, out of sight, out of mind. And that's why we absolutely need to have a strong committee with people who've got unseen disabilities, because I feel we're being somewhat discarded. This has become the symbol of people who do not want to wear a mask, who do not want to have vaccines, who are anti-science, who are anti-lockdown. Whereas this was a scheme that was letting people know that you had some disability and you might need extra help, and to just be open-minded when we approach you. So I just feel that we're being even more victimised, a bit like what we were as non-UK born citizens right after Brexit. Right after Brexit, I was told by my council that I wasn't entitled anymore to benefits because it's only for British citizens, and it took a long time and a lot of mental health spoon to get it sorted. And I just feel that as we are entering this really weird period of complete changes, both due to COVID and to Brexit, we need to have a strong support in people who understand what the issue might be, especially in terms of benefits for things that are not seen. And if it's not being represented properly on TV, how will people know about it? And being autistic, it took me a long time to understand that Rain Man was not a proper description of what autism was about. And had I known that, maybe I would not have suffered so many mental health issues. 10 years ago, I was assessed by Atos, and do you know what? I was incredibly lucky to suffer in that room from a complete meltdown, because the woman wasn't quite sure what it was, but she knew that on TV it is what people look like when they're deeply distressed mentally, and therefore I was made to not have to work, and deemed as being disabled enough to not have to work. Had I been in a good day and not have a meltdown, I still had the same disability. It's just that she would not have seen it that way, and she would have told me that I was completely able to work. So representation is absolutely crucial. Number of times you hear people say, oh, put a belt in when you've got someone having an epileptic fit, because that's what they've seen on TV, and that's completely wrong. But they are stuck on it, and our job as performers, especially if you work on screen or stage, and that people will see what you are doing and what representation comes through, it is so crucial that we basically educate people about us as foreign person, as disabled, as people from minorities, because they live in their little world and just have that as a small tiny window to look into our world and to understand our perspective. And that is why it is so important that our committees are fully representing the population of Britain and are fully representing our force work, and that is why I'm asking you, especially as a non-UK born member, to please vote for me if you can. Please do feel free to contact me, private message, comments, Twitter, YouTube, email if you wish. I'll be happy to answer, and I do hope to see you soon and to listen to any idea you might have. Thank you.